Hey, it's Jen, the Nomadic Fit's gluten-free lifestyle coach with celiac disease. Happy Celiac Awareness Month. The entire month of May is Celiac Disease Awareness Month, and I thought that I would use this opportunity to talk about how I was diagnosed with celiac disease, how my doctor did not help me understand it's more than just going gluten-free, and how I had to learn the hard way how to travel, cook, dine out, and grocery shop, and do all the things, which led to me becoming a coach. So first, I just want to acknowledge if you're watching this video and you've been diagnosed with celiac disease recently, holding a ton of space for the emotions you must be feeling right now. I remember them very, very well, and the tears in my eyes when I got the phone call from my doctor. And I want you to know that it does get easier, but it is important to practice going through the stages of grief as you head into this new gluten-free lifestyle. Things are gonna feel hard in the beginning. Things that used to feel super simple are gonna be complicated, like finding a restaurant to go get dinner. It's not that easy anymore. So give yourself the time to grieve your old way of life, and going through these stages can help you practice acceptance in your new gluten-free one. When I was a kid, I had a really sensitive stomach, and I never really could pinpoint what it was that bothered me. So some days I would come home from like a birthday party where we had pizza and my stomach would hurt. And I'd be like, oh, I think there was too much cheese on the pizza. Or other times I would eat something and then my stomach would hurt and I'd say, oh, it was too greasy. And I always had a reason as to why something bothered me, but never really put two and two together. And it wasn't happening often enough to really notice a pattern or for me to need medical attention. It was kind of just random. Additionally, as a kid, I was a super picky eater. Super, super picky. Like, sorry, mom and dad, how picky I was. My favorite foods were like pasta, pizza, pancakes. I loved pancakes. I didn't eat a lot of vegetables. Now I love vegetables as an adult, but as a kid, it was bad. I did not like veggies at all. Also, I feel like the 90s, we really didn't have good vegetable options. It was like steamed veggies or that's it. Now you can like roast any vegetable and it's like amazing. So I don't know. The 90s were a lot of fun, but we were not good at making vegetables in the 90s, personally. So senior year of high school, I actually developed this rash on my the back of my thigh and like my hip and my butt, going all the way down the back of my leg towards my knee. It was this red scaly rash and it was super, super itchy. And I didn't know what it was. And my parents didn't know what it was. So took me to a dermatologist, biopsied, and they were like, yeah, you just have this super dry skin. Here's this cream, put it on it, bye. Well, it was dermatitis epiformis, which is commonly known as DH, which is a common symptom of celiac disease. But I wouldn't be diagnosed for another 3 years. And at that time, I wasn't, again, having like a lot of stomach issues. I just had this random rash that appeared. And they were like, here, just put this lotion on it. So I said, okay. And I did. And it came and went, and I didn't really think about it a lot. And it wasn't until I was diagnosed that I realized, oh, that's what that was. Then everything kind of hit the fan. The you-know-what hit the fan my sophomore year of college. So the fall of 2008, I had a bad stomach virus, like really bad 24-hour stomach bug. Was super sick. And then after that, it just got worse. So by like Christmas break and the holidays in December of 2008, I just had stomach aches like every day. And I remember being at my husband's house, who was my boyfriend at the time, over Christmas break, and I asked him for an English muffin, and he made me an English muffin, and I took 2 bites, and I was like, I feel awful. I feel so sick. And it was so strange to just go from every day eating things that never bothered me to then anything with gluten in it was just awful. And this just got worse and worse when I went back to school. So January, I go back to college, and now everything I eat is making me sick. Now, mind you, I'm still pretty picky at age, I was what, 19 at the time? I was 19. So I'm still like college student living on pasta, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, Easy Mac, lots of snacks. There were boxes of wheat thins on my on my shelf. So I'm eating a lot of gluten, which probably doesn't help this very much. And I'm getting sicker and sicker, and I'm losing weight, and I'm malnourished, and everything I eat gives me an upset stomach. I'm having terrible gas and bloating. I went to a Zumba class at my college because I used to love to do Zumba. And I ended up just leaving the class halfway through because I had gas so bad and it was so embarrassing that everyone in the class was looking around at who did it. And they knew it was me and I was mortified. So I just left. And that was really, really hard and really embarrassing. I think I cried in the bathroom because I just didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what was happening to my body. So my parents saw that something was going on and that I wasn't feeling right. So they scheduled an appointment with a GI doctor for me to go to. And at the time, the first consultation with the GI doctor, I had a lot of GERD and acid reflux. So everything I ate, I felt like I had a lot of pressure in my chest when I would eat. So they prescribed me 2 antacids to take, one in the morning and one in the evening. So I started taking those, but it didn't help. Like the problems persisted. And one night for my anniversary, my 1-year anniversary with my now husband, who I've been with for almost 15 years, he took me out to this adorable Italian restaurant, and we ordered pasta and mozzarella sticks and bread and salad. And then we went for a walk on the beach afterward at night, and it was so cute. It was so romantic. And then I was like, I'm gonna vomit. So I was on the beach at night, like 25 minutes from school, when I told my now husband, my boyfriend at the time, I was like, I don't feel good. We need to go. We need to go back to school. He was like, okay, let's go. And then that night ended with him holding my hair back as I vomited violently into the toilet, everything that I had eaten. So something was clearly wrong with me. And that much was true. I think I remember saying to him that night, what is wrong with me? What is happening to me? And I thought I had a virus, truthfully. I thought I had some virus and I would just be given medicine to take for like, a week or 2, antibiotics, and then it would go away. But that's not what it was. And other people were commenting on my appearance. I looked sick, like I looked thin, I looked pale. My professors were commenting and saying to me, and I went to a very small school, so we had small classes, and they were like, are you okay? You don't look okay. You look sick. And I'm like, oh no, I'm fine. I'm okay. And I don't think I really recognized how sick I was. So eventually the doctor scheduled an endoscopy and blood tests for me. And then that's what I ended up taking or doing. And that was in early March. So shortly afterward, this was March of 2009, I got the phone call from the GI doctor about 10 minutes before I had to go to class. So my GI doctor calls me and she says, hi Jennifer, I have the results of the blood test, and it turns out you have celiac disease. And I was like, what the hell is that? And she's like, yeah, you have this thing called celiac disease. You can't eat gluten, you can't eat breads, pizza, pastas, cakes, cookies for the rest of your life. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, do you know what I eat? And she's like, yes, you must avoid these foods and this will help you feel better. And I was floored. I was absolutely shocked. Like, what? Like, I refused to believe it. So I got off the phone with her. I don't even remember what I said, how I said goodbye to the doctor on the phone. And I took out my phone and I was like, celiac disease. I Googled it. And then the first thing, and I was like, celiac disease treatment. And then it said the only treatment for celiac disease is a gluten-free diet. And I was like, what is gluten? And then I went to images. That was a mistake. Because images of all of my favorite foods came up, and every delicious morsel of food that you could ever imagine was there. And I burst into tears. I was like, oh my God, I can't eat anything anymore. What is gonna happen? What am I going to eat? So I called my boyfriend, now husband, Dylan, told him what happened. He was like, wow, like, well now, you've got an answer. It's going to be okay. We'll figure this out. I called my parents. They said the exact same thing. All of them were supportive. They're like, don't worry. You have an answer now. It's going to get better. We'll figure it out and we'll go from there. So that took a little while. And then I eventually made it to class, albeit quite a bit late. So that was March of 2009. So afterward, I was like, okay, I got back from class and I looked at my desk and I immediately looked at the foods that were on my desk, which was Quaker chewy granola bars. First ingredient was wheat flour, and I was like, these are out. And then I had a box of Wheat Thins sitting on my desk. I was like, oh, damn it, I can't have these either. But I went like cold turkey. I just was like, I am so miserably sick. I am going to do what I have to do to feel better. So I never had time to really like grieve any of this. I never had time to be sad about it more than a couple minutes because I was so desperate to feel better. I knew that I had to take immediate action. So over the next few months, I did start to feel better. It was a slow process, but I did start feeling better. And I learned more about gluten. I learned the hard way where gluten hides in things like beef stew, like at a restaurant where I thought, oh, I'll just get beef stew. It's beef and potatoes and carrots and, it'll be fine. And then I ended up getting gluten that night, not realizing that beef stew is normally thickened with flour. So I really learned the hard way in the beginning, the right way and the wrong way to do things, especially when it comes to restaurants. So I started little by little teaching myself how to cook and experimenting with recipes, either in college or when I was home for the summer with my parents. And then I also dived right into traveling. So 9 months after my diagnosis, I went to Madrid, Spain for a semester and studied abroad. And I lived with a host mother that spoke zero English, but lots of Spanish. So that helped me in my career as a Spanish teacher in years to come. And she cooked all of my food safe for me at home, all gluten-free. Spain had a lot of really good gluten-free products at the time, and they still do today. So that really instilled in me the knowledge that, okay, I was just diagnosed with this autoimmune condition, but I'm not going to let it stop me from seeing the world. I'm not going to let it stop me from living my life and going after what I want and my dreams in life. And that's been my mindset about celiac from the beginning. And it's the same mindset that I have today and that I teach my clients in one-on-one sessions, in my support group, and in my group programs. It's not the end of the world, even if it feels that way. I promise you it's not. It will get easier with time. It's just a big overhaul. There's a big learning curve in the beginning. And just know that if you're watching this and you're scared or overwhelmed or just upset about what now your life is going to look like, I've been there too. And if you like these videos and you want to see more of them, please subscribe to my channel. Thanks, and I'll see you soon.